essential for school service, net and SET. Hello friends, today's topic is Diadic communication. A communication is transfer of ideas, thoughts and uh, codification of ideas in symbols and signs decoded by the listeners and the audience in terms of decoded language, thoughts, and formulation of its response as it is understood by the message transfer. So it's a transfer of ideas and formulation of ideas according to the transfer of ideas. So communication is nothing but a action and reversal of actions by two different poles between two individuals. And dyadic communication, the name itself is suggestive. Di means two. Dyadic communication is between two persons, and they communicate each other according to their own regions. Dyadic communication is a communication between two different persons, and it is also known as turn-taking model because two different persons take two different turns in course of the communication. So it is also known as turn-taking model. If we think deep, we can say that dyadic communication has 5 steps or turns, and when these 5 steps are complete, dyadic communication, the purpose of dyadic communication becomes fully understandable and complete. Number one, when an individual offers reaction to the stimulus and formulate thoughts according to the sender's communication, it becomes dyadic. So there are three prerequisites. One is stimulus from the sender. Second, reaction from the audience according to the sender's communication as it is understood by the sender. Even the formulation of thoughts according to sender's communication is also a dyadic communication. Thoughts, number two, thoughts that have been coded and translated into language by the sender is sent through different kind of channels, and these channels can create, through these channels and or medium, one can translate its thought to the targeted audience. Channels could be anything. The mobile phone is also a channel, TV is a channel. Similarly, standing between, but these are mostly mass media communication. They are used in mass media communication, but they can also be used in dyadic communication for personal purposes in computers. Use of pencil and paper, telephone, keep in mind that can complicate the dyadic process of dyadic communication. In a dyadic communication, the receiver can translate code into thoughts according to his own capacity. Actually, according to the receiver's understanding, receiver's level of thoughts and experiences and channels used, it can be transferred. The message can be transferred to the listener. Paralanguages like gesture, facial expression, proximity can affect dyadic communication very much. Actually, gestures and facial expressions bear our emotions. Proximity, it refers to the audibility and the clarity of the message that has been sent, and all these things actually help bringing the accuracy of the message. So these things, paralanguages, can help the message to be clearly understood in a dyadic communication. Unlike mass communication, which aims at wide public audience in a large geographical area, what is rehearsed and edited in mass communication. Diadic communication, in contrast, is instantaneous and it is targeted to only one audience. So, it is quite opposite to mass communication. So, diadic communication is more or less private communication, and mass communication is, one can say, is a public mode of communication.